go. Just getting things set up really quick. Mic sure. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Good morning, beautiful faces. I am Vernon, your host here, showing you the happy way every single day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. I want to try something different today. I want to start off with a joke, something positive, even more so than a message, or I should say, in addition to. Kind of kicking off the joke. Why does Pavlov have such nice hair? Because he conditions it. If you want to know who Pavlov is, look that up. Today, we're going to continue in that conversation on leveling up your appearance, on leveling up, increasing your net worth, really just helping you helping you get yourself out there. And we are going to be diving into the appearance side of things. Now, I kind of adjust some things. When I say appearance, I know a lot of people automatically think aesthetics, right? Just like, your facet, how you look, things like that. And I intentionally did that. When I'm talking about leveling up your appearance, what I am talking about does involve, in fact, let me adjust this. There we go. Does involve, in fact, some aesthetics here, right? But, I'll touch on that, but I'm also going to kind of take this to a different level, and it makes sense in a second. Talked yesterday about, when you start getting out there and you want to increase your net worth, the reasons why. The big reason why that I want people to recognize why it's important to really work on yourself, to really, focus on finding the things about you that really light you up, that really show, your strengths, your positive, is because it's going to give you more choices. The more choices you have, the better decisions you can start making in life. And I'm all about that. Some people can call these standards, but we're showing you how to break your standard, how to raise your standards. This is not coming from a place of saying that I'm better than. This is not saying from a place I'm less than. This is not coming from any place other than do better. That's all this is about. Take it, leave it, but at least consider the fact that if you're here, if you're listening to this message, there is a glimpse of maybe I can learn a little something new. So just approach this with curiosity. And please don't forget to get your copy of Happy Holidays. It's a holiday recipe cookbook designed with Happy Meals to help you lose your first 10 pounds. Check that comment section down below to get your free copy. And as always, make sure you leave comments, or if you have any questions, send me those messages, because I'm liking a lot of feedback and I appreciate everyone always helping me to be better. But when it comes to changing, getting you to lean in with curiosity, when I talk about appearance, just diving into the nuts and bolts of things, it's one thing to have a great appearance about things, right? And, people will look at you and say, wow. So it's a good idea always to make sure that you're taking care of your self-care, shaving, grooming yourself, doing things like this. And I'm not trying to understate this, by the way. I'm not telling people how to live or how to look, but what I'm merely suggesting is if you're not taking care of your appearance, why should anybody really invest in you to give you more money, to give you a chance, or give opportunities? It might come across as judgy, it might come across as whatever it is, but it is reality. We look at each other and we develop these kind of stereotypes. We look at each other and you can try to fight that. You can say that you don't do that. You can say you don't do, I don't want to hear it. That is built into us. It's part of survival. Now, sure, we do refine those before we maybe interact with those, but initially, right off the jump, we kind of make an opinion about people. If you don't think you do, watch somebody who looks like they don't care, they carry themselves a certain way, their beard or facial hair is unkempt, or their hair is a certain way, you look at them and go, ew. But when you see somebody wearing a suit, or you see someone wearing a really nice dress, a really great outfit, you're like, wow. They've done so many studies proving that people look at people and automatically make these assumptions about them. It's built into us. Let's moved past that. Even if you are stone on that, let's push this to the side. But when you aren't taking care of the way that you carry yourself, the way that people receive you, or you're not really giving that much credence or giving that much weight, people make these assumptions about you. And when people make these assumptions about you, how do you think they're going to treat you? No, they shouldn't do that. No, the world ain't supposed to be like that, but it is. Accept it. We could argue about what the reality is, but this is reality. And it's just about taking some care of your appearance. Take a bath. I cannot stress that enough. I've been a huge gym guy, 20 plus years. I get it. I understand that we might get smelly. Take a bath. Take a bath. Look like you give a fuck. Pardon my language, but it's the truth. Look like you care. But when I talk about appearance, I want to take this even a step further to what I'm really getting to about increasing your net worth. With your appearance is not only, when I talk about appearance, the way that you aesthetically look, but how people receive you in terms of your vocabulary, how people receive you in terms of your body language. Really, looks like I froze up. Um, and it's these little things, right? Like some people are so focused on beauty, and beauty is great. But how many times have you seen a really attractive person, however you measure that, when you look at them, and you're like, wow, I maybe want to go spit some game. I want to, do these things to them, right? And once they start talking, you are immediately disgusted. Immediately, they'll go from a 9, 8, 10, whatever you want to put it, down to like a 2 or 3. I know this incredibly well. Not only do I have What's Your Happy, where I'm a happiness coach and I'm helping people get from stuck to happy as beep. I'm just trying to throw the foul language out there, but it's been several thousand clients, and I didn't get there by coaching people and just saying, "Oh, I figured this out." No, this is like something I've internally taken into my personal life. I'm going to say taking it in for about 19, 20 years. No one paid me any attention. And this is not a woe is me thing. This is about listen to my perspective thing. And I learned really quickly the persons who, might have been more attractive, they never really worked on, not they, when I say they, I'm not saying everyone else, I'm saying the persons that I'm referring to, they never really worked on, being pleasing. I'm not pleasing as in a giver, but it was engaging in conversation that was stimulating, giving people a chance to finish their words and sentences to complete thoughts, making sure that you are recognizing that even the person behind the counter is a human being, realizing that people have their own personal things that they're going through, and they might not have the capacity to, say the things that make you feel kind. It's about a full, well-rounded personality. And I noticed that many attractive persons definitely got more attention to me. In fact, the people used to make fun of me had just straight up some poor quality personalities, meaning that they just never really considered other people. And when I started getting older and I started getting out there and I started putting myself out there, even like today, I'm even doing this, I'm putting myself out there constantly. I started noticing that, the people who might have looked a certain way, when you cut those lights off, how attractive were they? Did they speak with kindness? Did they carry a tone that really engaged people? Did it come across as inviting? Did it seem more condescending, or did it seem more uplifting? And that really stuck with me, especially when I started getting even older. I was about 24 and I started getting into the whole modeling game and the acting game. And, to kind of paint this picture, if you've never been to a casting, or maybe you have been to a casting, it was just such a phenomenal experience. And for anybody who believed their damn mama, and she told you, or anybody who told you were special, go to a casting. Everybody looks just like you. Everybody. I used to think I'm like, oh, I'm 6'4", I'm 220, 240 pounds. I'm so unique. And so I thought when I came from Virginia years ago, right? And I went to New York. And I'm thinking, my mom said I'm going to be such, an impactful person and da-da-da-da-da, all those things. Well, she didn't really say that, but you know what I'm saying? We kind of get those messages in life that you're unique and you're special. When you go to a casting, they have very specific requirements, or sometimes really loose, but typically they want a certain gender, they want a certain height, they want a certain build, they want a certain ethnicity, depending on the casting. But what happens is you start becoming this kind of composite of these characteristics, and everybody looks like you. So if you're attractive, or others might say you're attractive, others might say you're less attractive, guess what? You're in a room with a bunch of people who look like you. And what got me, I know this, what got me, so much, different experiences and brought me so much success was just being looking attractive is not enough. That's not going to raise your standard. That's going to get more attention on you. That gets you more looks. And most people are not good judges of that. They think I have attention, therefore I'm a high quality, or therefore that I'm deserving. That's not the way this game works, baby. I can tell you that now. That gets you into the door. What gets you to the next level is how you carry yourself, how you engage with people. Are you polite? Are you easy to work with? Are you friendly? Do you handle rejection well? Do you handle disappointments well? Those are the things that, like, the looks aspect of life is kind of like ketchup and mustard at a cookout. I mean, it's good. Make no mistake. It's really good, but there's many other options for you. The real nuts and bolts in life is your character. That is what really gets your net worth higher. So when I'm in these rooms and I'm paying attention to, like, wow, these people look like me, and my mom lied to me, I can't believe her, I'm saying that jokingly. I started noticing that, and this wasn't everybody. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, but the persons that I kept seeing get ahead, and I was being one of those persons. I kept noticing we would see the same people. These persons had such realistic expectations of people and of themselves, meaning, hey, we have bad days. Meaning that, I understand that sometimes, you might stumble, you might forget a line, you might just you account for humanity. And when people are around you like that, they start just like saying, hey, well, let's work with this guy more. Hey, let's work with this gal more. I saw it in men and women over and over and over again. And that's why even the phrase that I said a minute ago, how attractive are you when the lights are out? Really work on how you treat people. If you want to get better dates, start treating people differently. Start treating people with kindness. Being more attractive, having more money, having more things does not mean that you're more deserving of things. That's not the way this equates to. But when you're really trying to step up your game, really sit back and say, hey, I can't fix some things that I did yesterday, but today I can start treating people a little bit differently. Treatment of people is everything, and relationships are rocket ships. And I'm not saying that in some manipulative way, but I'm just trying to say if you want to open more doors for yourself, which can increase your financial net worth, you need to very, very, very much consider starting with how you treat people, how you carry yourself, and how you treat yourself. And this goes along with appearance as well. By you taking more care of your appearance, by you taking more consideration of maybe what others are going through, all of a sudden you start treating yourself kinder and better. All of a sudden you start noticing that the way you treat yourself is the way people are going to start treating you. When someone says something out of turn, when you're doing those two mentioned things, you have no problem throwing down boundaries because you know what you're worth. You know what you've worked on. You know how you go out of your way to make people feel. It becomes this invisible boundary that you can very easily engage people with. Even when people cross the line with me, it does not happen that often, but it does happen. Hold on a minute. What about what I just said, how I carry myself, said that you're going to talk to me that way? When you start approaching people like that because you've done your homework and things that you need to do, it creates this power in you that it's undeniable. You stop getting these lower quality situations and circumstances that you could be going through. I don't care if it's dating. I don't care if it's a job application, because make no mistake, with jobs, appearance is everything. If you go to a job, you don't look like you care about your appearance. They look at your resume, how you represent yourself, a physical representation of how you view yourself, how you professionally have developed, and it's not formatted. It's horrible. It's 7 pages. What is that telling people about you? When you meet people, you have seconds in many cases to decide if they want to be with you or not. There's so much research that supports things like this. But even if you're honest, look in your everyday life. When you see someone who doesn't look like they pay attention to people, excuse me, allergies. When you look at someone who doesn't seem like they care about their appearance, you watch the way they treat people. Do you really want to be around persons like that? Do you really think you're going to learn anything positive that's going to help you like that? Of course not. Because immediately you start recognizing like, what am I picking up from? And it might not even be here. It can be here. It turns people off. Persons in the dating world. Yeah, you might be more attractive or you might be less attractive according to whomever, because that's all relative in the first place. But if you have a great personality and you're really easy to get along with and you care, you take like center stage, especially now. After we all were told to sit at home for a couple of years, standards dropped. If people are complaining about why does it take so long for me to get through lines in grocery stores or all these seller service lines, it's because standards dropped. But if you put forth even a little iota of care and concern, you are just like really watch how far it carries you now. Even when I do trainings for companies, they look at me and like, oh, that's all we need to do? Yeah, because standards are so low in many cases. If you just show up and say, hey, let's do this with a positive attitude, which 10 years ago was normal, everyone thinks like you're the cock of the walk, and it's not that hard. Raise your net worth by raising the way that you show up. Raise your net worth by making sure that you look like you give a damn about you. Don't have wrinkles in your clothes. Shave. Take a bath. Smell good. Put on some smell good. It's hard. Cologne has always been one of my things. And people who know me know one of my signatures is like, you always smell good. Why? Because it shows people that I care about myself. And when you do that unconsciously, people will treat you so much better. Something as simple as smelling good. How much effort does it take to take a bath? But then after we're taking care of our appearance, you want to make sure that you're also practicing, talking to yourself kindly. If you're treating yourself like crap, saying, man, I could have done better, I should have known better, and should and all over yourself, once you should in yourself, you are literally giving people open access to treating you like crap because they get a sense of how you carry yourself. Because you're going to walk with your head a little lower, you're going to have different body language, and you're not even going to be conscious of it. But the winning combo is you're taking care of yourself, you're watching how you're talking to yourself. But the third thing is you're making sure that you're treating people with kindness, you're treating people with humanity. It's game over. Game over. I don't care what pedigree, background that you have. When you have those three locked in, more opportunities have to start coming. They have to, because you're walking a certain way and you're going to start carrying yourself a certain way. You're going to have a different vocal tone. You're going to have a different handshake. You're going to have a different typing style when you're feeling better about yourself. And then when you're talking with people and communicating that, game over. Simple things. Doesn't take rocket science. Sure, there's other things I could say, but those are the big three that are going to make the biggest impact. This week, I want you to go out there and just consider the fact, all right, I'm not saying that people stink, but I'm just trying to say, are you making sure that you're carrying yourself with the demeanor and poise that you want? Because you get what you are in this life. If you are successful, positive, and focus on moving forward, you're going to get results like that. Maybe not right now, but eventually you will with that type of kind of foundation. It's a very simple thing, but it's not easy to do. Start today. Start off with some smell good. Start off with asking more questions and not being reductionistic. As the winter starts rolling in here, you're going to start seeing people act a little bizarre. We're not even going there right now. I talk about that at a later time. But for today, go out there before people start acting bizarre. Care about your appearance. Care about people. But most of all, care about yourself. Really care about yourself more. And as you care about yourself more, and if you say, well, I can't love myself, or, that's such a manipulative phrase. I don't even use that language in my life. But as you start caring about yourself more, you maybe say, well, I'm just not there yet. Start doing more things for people. Hold the door. Look around and say thank you. Say, excuse me. Things like that. Watch how it will give you more energy. And watch how people will start responding to you. Try it today. Go out there, focus on your happy. Go out there and focus on being more successful. But try something different to change your life. As we get colder and as the times get, longer, I'm just going to use like that in a positive here. What is going to really differentiate the successful people from the persons who just kind of kick the can down the road is how you are going to be working on your head game. This is all mental. Lots of things happening to us in life, but it's how this thing's prepared for it. Go out there, get what you want, and I'm going to see you all tomorrow at 7:45. 8:45 Eastern. Peace. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Nope. 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 Oh, that's why. And nope. Cool. It's not working.